Services for the Rialto Unified School District.
Buenas tardes, el nombre de la señorita es Aida Joffrey y es la directora de servicios a los alumnos.
Have a school board, a full school board meeting, but first, I would like to introduce Elisa Daniels, a junior at Rialto High School, and will lead us in the pledge, and then we will perform the song "I Believe I Can Fly," recorded by R. Kelly.
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated. On the verge of breaking down, sometimes the silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve, but first I know it starts inside of me. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. 'Cause I believe in me. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. 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 I can fly.
So as she's running out of the building again, thank you, Alyssa, that was beautiful. We also want to thank the family and Rialto High School staff who are here tonight, including Principal Arnie Ayala, to support our talented student, Alyssa. Thank you. So next, we'll be going into the report out of closed session.
And we have two. The Board of Education denied the request for a leave of absence for classified employee number 1700617, March 9th, 2017 through September 9th, 2017. The roll call vote was unanimous. And the governing board approved the agreement settling the San Bernardino Superior Court case number CIVD 140189849 in exchange for release of all claims. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll have the adoption of the agenda, but before we adopt the agenda, we'll be pulling item number on page, goodness. On page section 8, number 1, page 8, section 1, facilities and planning consent items, reference number 12.1. Are there any pulls, other pulls from the agenda? Yep, okay. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. No
Preferential vote.
opposed? Oh, sorry about that. Preferential vote by student board member?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, again, a vote, all in favor? Aye. Okay,
One abstention.
not present. Okay, excellent. Let's move to the next section. We have presentation by high school and student advisory committee presentations. And Mr. Collier, can you take that away?
Thank you, President Walker. First, we have Dorian Muhammad from Eisenhower High School. Good evening. Good evening, family, friends, and board members. Here at Eisenhower High School, we are consistently defying the odds and making our school improve in our opportunities for our students, faculty involvement, as well as student involvement within our school. Recently, we honored our distinguished scholars for the first semester of 2016-2017 school year last Wednesday. We awarded 900 Eagles for their academic achievements. Within those group of students, we have honored students that have received more news on their college acceptances, such as Leticia Camacho, our third-ranked student, being accepted to San Diego State, Claudia Ramos, our salutatorian, being accepted to Chico State, and Amishi Bagat, our valedictorian, being accepted to UC, as well as being considered for a full ride to USC. Furthermore, we also recently honored Lamario Howard for his full ride scholarship to Azusa Pacific University. Lamario will be studying in communications as well as playing football there next fall. We completed our senior supper that was held on January 27th, where our senior class of 2017 were able to vote for our prom theme, as well as learn more about the upcoming events to finish out our school year, as well as bond, play some games, and simply have some well-deserved fun. Recently, for the Black History Month ceremony, myself, Helena Ramirez, our ASB president, and Juwan Collier, our ambassador, selected Miss Dunbar Smalls for the award given by Eisenhower High School for her efforts in taking care of our students, as well as her consistent involvement, and for merely being one of the best teachers that has always been by our side. On March 8th, we will be holding our very own March Madness, where we will have our senior basketball players versus our staff members. And quite frankly, I already know that our students will win. The tickets for this event will be $2, and we will have food vendors, performances, as well as a DJ to make it a fun and exciting experience. Furthermore, our Black History Month is upon us, and for Eisenhower High School, we will be giving a fact, innovation, and/or milestone for the Black community every day on the announcements to showcase the unwilling strength, beautiful innovations, and the natural braveness over the years. Also, our very own Black Student Union will be having a lunchtime event once a week to help bring notice to the Black History Month. On March 15th, we will be holding our annual talent show in the cafeteria starting at 6 p.m., where some of our Eagles will showcase and demonstrate their talents. The price for this event will be $2 with ASB card and $3 without. As we get closer to the end of our school year, we are hoping that students will get every opportunity to have this special moment of fun. And with all these upcoming events, we are giving our Eagles the opportunity to be a part of the nest and a part of the mob. Thank you for your time.
Next, we have Alexis Rodriguez from Rialto High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Alexis Rodriguez, and I am the proud ASB Vice President of Rialto High School. It's the season of love, and there are many reasons to love being a Knight. Our winter sports can claim 2 San Andreas League championships, as our boys soccer and basketball team both earned top spots. Our Lady Knights put in work, as well as both girls soccer and basketball teams are also playoff bound. Our varsity cheerleaders gave us reason to cheer for them as they brought home another Cheer Pro State Championship. Congrats again, ladies, and we are excited to see you defend your title at Nationals next month in Anaheim. Hashtag College Bound Knights. This week, our counselors and Career Center present College Week with Avid College presentations during lunch, a STEM presentation by UTI, a door decorating contest, and students and staff representing their future and past schools. Next week, we celebrate our Sadie Hawkins event at Cal Skate Grand Terrace, so dust off your skates and get ready to roll. We would love to invite you all to some great events. Join us as our Black Student Union and Broadway Knights host a special presentation honoring Black History Month on February 24th. Shows begin at 8:30 a.m. in our theater. From the flyers passed out, we would like to invite you to our family math night taking place next Thursday the 16th from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m., beginning in our Great Hall, and on March 2nd as we celebrate the annual Read Across America event. This year, our campus will be hosting 35 classrooms from Casey, Henry, Warner, Kelly, and Preston elementary schools, as well as having our Knights travel to Cordiac and Dunn to spread the joy of Dr. Seuss. Continuing on with our love for reading, we'll be hosting our Literacy Night from 5 to 7 p.m. later that night. We would like to thank the REA for selecting us for the Dr. Seuss grant last year, as it really helped us provide great activities for our mini Knights. We look forward to seeing you all on our campus soon. Thank you for your time, drive home safely, and have a great evening.
Lastly, we have Gilbert Mosqueda from Carter High School.
Good evening, viewing audience, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Avila. My name is Gilbert Mosqueda, and I am the ASB Treasurer of Carter High School. It is a real pleasure to be here in front of you during this month of remembrance and pride, celebrating Black History Month. Thank you for allowing me to be here to go over all the great things that happened at Carter last month and our upcoming celebrations. I'd like to start by congratulating senior Diamond Gray, who won the Poetry Out Loud San Bernardino County competition on February 4th and is looking forward to representing our county at the state competition in Sacramento. Also, a noteworthy initiative starting at Carter this month is a month in our Pride Time plan, which teaches students and engages the community to help with attendance. It is a great success. Teachers are loving it, and students are getting to class on time. This last weekend, we had a lot of fun on February 3rd during the first annual Basketball Midnight Madness, an event geared at providing a safe and fun place for our community to come together to enjoy music, dunk contests, shootout competitions, and performance from our cheer team. We are very proud of our girls wrestling team and Coach Chavez. Please help us congratulate them in making it to CIF and winning the CBL League title, which is the first all-girl team to win a CBL title in our school after joining the league last year. We are also very proud of our boys soccer team, who are not only ranked second in the CBL, but are also the Rialto Cup champions. They have had a tremendous season. Great job, boys soccer and Coach Navarro. I'd also like to mention that our Carter cheer team are the 2017 national champions, competing against the best schools in numerous states and bringing the national championship back to Rialto. Great job to our cheer team and their coach. I'd also like to recognize our freshman girls soccer team on their CBL title. We also want to take this time to congratulate our fellow athletes for signing on with full rides to the following colleges and universities: Alicia Rivera, softball, Iowa Lakes Community; Marcos Castanon, baseball, UC Santa Barbara; Damian Johnson, softball, University of New Mexico; and Sonny Robinson, football, University of Redlands. We have had great events this last month that were enjoyed by Carter students and the community, like our winter rockabilly themed rally, the Sadie's dance, our annual book fair, and on February 3rd, our award-winning speech and debate team had dinner and a showcase where students displayed their talents in debate. Our counseling department hosted a success and intervention night Thursday, January 26th for students and parents. This event received over 200 parents and students. I'd like to mention and invite the community to a few noteworthy upcoming events. On February 16th, we'll be having our first annual career and CTE fair. We'll have over 40 local colleges and universities and over 30 trade schools, businesses, and unions like Edison and IBEW confirmed to attend this event. Carter will also be showcasing our own CTE program. We will be rotating Carter High School students and our own feeder middle school students through this event. On February 17th and 18th, Carter High School will be hosting the CIF wrestling competition that brings out over 1,500 participants to engage in exciting and competitive tournaments. We would like to encourage parents to attend our 2 upcoming events and our 2 upcoming parent information night. Topics that will be covered include parent involvement and getting ready to go to college. If you don't already do, follow us on Twitter to get more Pride info. Again, I would truly like to thank everyone for allowing me to have some of your time. Thank you.
And that is all, President Walker.
Okay, thank you. And next we'll have our presentation from who's going to for Marie? Okay, Marie Thornsberry. Who has? So, Board Clerk Montez.
Thank you, Board President Ms. Tina Walker. Thank you for sharing the love and letting me award this much deserved award tonight. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Tonight, we're very fortunate to be honoring 2 deserving teachers for excellence in their fields. And I have the privilege of honoring the first one with this special recognition. Mrs. Marie Thornsberry, Gate Cluster Teacher at Hughbanks Elementary School. Would you please come up? And she is receiving her special recognition for her excellence in the NASA Airborne Astronomy Program. I see you have a NASA jacket on. Many of you may know from not just the local newspapers, but also from the district's social media page, which developed more than 20,000 hits on this specific story, that Mrs. Thornsberry is truly out of this world. Impressively, Mrs. Thornsberry was just one of 2 teachers from the Inland Empire selected to participate in the experience of a lifetime by flying on NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, also known as SOFIA. That was a mouthful. Research on SOFIA was conducted on a modified short-body 747, which launches from the Armstrong Flight Research Center in Palmdale on January 24th. The flight was made possible through NASA's Airborne Astronomy Ambassadors Program. Mrs. Thornsberry observed NASA scientists conduct experiments at 43,000 feet above sea level, 10,000 feet higher than the altitude of most commercial planes. She also had the opportunity to conduct some experiments of her own. And we'll let her tell us all about that in just one second. Mrs. Thornsberry was born and raised in San Bernardino and now lives in Highland. She graduated from Aquinas High School in San Bernardino, earned her bachelor's degree in English from San Diego State University, master's degree in education administration from Cal State San Bernardino. She is also the president of the California Association for the Gifted, NASA Airborne Astronomy Ambassador. She first began teaching at Morgan Elementary School in 1984, and then in 1988 helped open RUSD's Hugh Banks Elementary School. She left Hugh Banks in 2000 to become an administrator, working as a program specialist at Bemis Elementary School, and later returned to teaching at Hugh Banks Elementary School to finish her career, as it has always been home. Married for 28 years to Matthew Thornsberry, he teaches at Cajon High School in San Bernardino. The couple has two sons, Ian, who is completing a degree in business from the University of Redlands, and works at Carter High School as an instructional assistant and an assistant baseball coach, and Lucas, who is a computer engineer and creates phone apps. Mrs. Thornsberry loves teaching her students, but she added, and I quote, "When I do have some time, I like to travel, read, take walks, play board games, and spend time with friends and family." We will let you personally share some of your once-in-a-lifetime experience you had, Mrs. Thornsberry. But first, on behalf of the Board of Education and the district, we thank you for keeping standards high for our students and bringing your wealth of knowledge back to the classroom to share with our students. Thank you very much. Would you like to bring your family up here for one picture? Please. We'll do it in front of the podium? Yeah. One picture in front of the podium, I'm sorry. We want that NASA jacket in the picture.
I'm gonna get 20,000. I'm gonna do this. You have to say it with the board, is that okay? Board is the Board of Education. Kind of a big deal. There you go. Walk right on.
I do have some things to share with all of you. Thank you. Well, 5 years ago, my friend Wendy Rodriguez, a science teacher at Heritage Middle School in Phelan, asked me to apply with her to the Airborne Astronomy Ambassador Program and an opportunity to fly on NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, SOFIA.
It's a mouthful.
It is. To qualify, one partner had to be a secondary science teacher, and the other could be a teacher in any area. Wendy knew of my passion for teaching gifted students and thought we would make a good team. Sorry. We applied for Cycle 2 and were not selected. Then a couple of years later, Wendy learned that there was a Cycle 3 and called me about applying again. The deadline was in 2 days, and I had just changed schools. In those 2 days after work, I completely rewrote the essays to include new teaching strategies that I had put in place, gathered new letters of recommendation and signatures, and with the help of Dr. Stewart, we met the deadline. 2 years ago, Wendy and I were selected as Earth Partners. During this time, we received materials for our classrooms from NASA and SETI, attended online meetings, and presented to parents and students at both Hughbanks Elementary and Heritage Middle School. We were then notified that we were to be Cycle 4 Airborne Astronomy Ambassadors and would fly on Sophia. To prepare, last summer we completed a graduate level astronomy course. It was the most difficult class either of us had ever experienced. I had to call on my sons to help me with the math. But as tough as it was, we both received A's, and during our week with NASA, we realized how important that class was in preparing us. We were sure that we would have been lost in listening to the scientists had we not taken that class. We were originally scheduled to fly at the end of August of last year and were rescheduled 3 times because of work on the instruments and maintenance issues. Finally, 2 weeks ago, we got to fly. We spent a full week meeting with scientists, astronomers, astrophysicists, and engineers. We learned about Sophia, the 7 different interchangeable instruments that the telescope uses, took tours of the different labs, and twice flew on Sophia for approximately 10 hours on each flight. 2 of the main targets for our flights were Mars and Venus and their atmospheres, gathering data to find evidence of methane, water, possible former oceans, and how quickly they evaporated. Since Venus's makeup is so like Earth, this data would help explain how the planets were formed or could give clues to the future of Earth. We also saw Orion, Vesta, a new forming galaxy, and other celestial bodies. Just as enlightening as viewing the targets was getting to know the people who work on Sophia. I immediately recognized these individuals as grown-up gifted kids. Wendy and I asked several of them to share their stories of how they had arrived at where they are today. Most reported having an interest in astronomy from an early age. Some described themselves as not fitting in as young students. One spoke of sneaking out at night to look at the stars, and another told of building his own telescopes. Interestingly, nearly everyone named one special teacher whom at some point in their education recognized their potential and took time to guide them. And that is what made the difference in their lives. They all said that in working on Sophia, they had found their peers. They share a passion and share the same level of humor. It was evident that they are challenged by their work, but more importantly, they are satisfied and happy individuals. As an advocate for gifted learners, I saw firsthand how important it is for us to make sure that our gifted students are placed together, are challenged by teachers who understand them, and are provided mentors in the areas of their interest. This was indeed a highlight of my career, and I'm honored to represent Hughbanks Elementary and the Rialto Unified School District. Thank you for this recognition.
And as a small token from Hughbanks, and thank you for representing us and our district, that's from Hughbanks, our Huskies, your Husky family. Thank you.
Thank you for all your
As we say again, thank you to Ms. Thornsberry for representing our district and their students. And I know the learning that you learned while you were with NASA, very valuable, and I'm sure you've shared that with our kids. So nobody else can say that except for us. Thank you. So our next presentation will be from Vice President Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Yeah, I just went blank.
It's that kind of
Okay.
night.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It
If
is that
anyone
kind of
hasn't
night.
noticed, it is.
Yes.
Okay. One of the key responsibilities of a classroom teacher is to make a difference in the life of a child. We've just seen a teacher that has made a profound difference in many students' lives, and I'm really jealous. I'm really jealous. I sit and watch all these programs about NASA and space and all the infrared stuff. And anyway, I'm so happy for her and for us that we have her. Sometimes we have those unique educators who, through their sheer determination and passion, stand above the rest as exemplary teachers and mentors. Mrs. Denya Sanders Hester, preschool teacher at Myers Elementary School, is one of those exemplary people. Please come up and join me. Did they come cheap?
No.
Okay.
I'm in big debt.
No kidding. Do you have family here that you'd
I
like
do.
to come up? Come on.
She's
Bring them on. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Preschool teacher at Myers Elementary. Miss Kelly Barnett, San Bernardino Valley College coordinator of the California Early Childhood Mentor Program, makes visits to various county school districts and observes preschools. When she recently visited Mrs. Sanders Hester's classroom at Myers Elementary School, she was extremely impressed at how she was teaching her preschoolers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Barnett came to observe and pulled me aside one day and asked how long I had been teaching, recalled Mrs. Sanders Hester. She mentioned that she liked my style of teaching and classroom setup. We continued talking, and then she offered me an application on the spot. I later submitted the application. After a couple of months, my application was approved, and the good news arrived. Mrs. Sanders Hester, whose classroom was rated as an excellent environment with high-quality early childhood practices, is now a mentor teacher and will begin to teach early childhood at the local Valley colleges. Congratulations. Two in one night. Mrs. Sanders Hester said,
Early education is not to babysit, but to understand a child's learning skill from a very young age and begin to develop them as a lifelong learner. Knowing how a child learns, then being able to hand that information over to TK or kindergarten teachers.
it's hard to find good help here.
You weren't on the payroll, that's what
Exactly.
so they can begin where we left off and place that child exactly where they need to be is a great pleasure.
Mrs. Sanders Hester is a San Bernardino resident. She graduated from Fontana High School.
Sorry, Ike.
Okay.
Go Steeler, I'm with you.
Yeah, I feel you. Attended several local community colleges for undergrad work, including UCLA for administrative units, and then graduated from University of Laverne with a bachelor's degree in liberal studies. She began her teaching career in Pomona Unified School Development, Head Start. She was hired by the RUSD in 2007 as a preschool teacher at Myers Elementary. Mrs. Sanders Hester had previously worked at Dollahan, Preston Elementary Schools, also transferring there due to budget cuts. Ms. Sanders Hester is married, and the couple has one child.
Who apparently is going home with Saida.
See, guys, you have to be that small for Dave to say yes. Okay, she laughs. If there is any time left over in my day, I still love to scrapbook, cook, and craft. Her work is exemplary, and this honor for Mrs. Sander Hester is also an honor for our district, said RUSD Early Childhood Director, Dr. Patricia Krizek. We are all just so proud of her, and I'm a fan as well now.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Board of Education, we would like to thank and honor you. With over 32 school districts in our county, you are one of a few mentor teachers teaching early education at a collegiate level. We appreciate your dedication to your students, classroom, and a future generation of my grandkids that are now in preschool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and don't lose that. If we could have the board come on up.
I'm humbled and grateful to accept this honor on behalf of not myself, but early childhood educators everywhere. Go us. Okay. I would be remiss if I didn't first give my thank yous first and foremost to God for giving me the daily strength and desire to do such a precious and priceless job as nurturing and growing young minds. To my family, enough said. To my administration, both here and at Valley, who have been like incredible cheerleaders the entire time. To my colleagues and staff who serve right along with me in the front lines, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. It's such an exciting time for early childhood educators as it becomes common knowledge that what we do is the first stepping stone to a child's educational career. I am one, but a team of many across San Bernardino County that strive for the very best for our youngest learners. And I even have proof here tonight. One of my past preschool students is speaking on tonight's agenda. Wow. So. Crazy coincidence, but I'm glad it happened. Okay, we have more than 22 more dedicated preschool teachers who work diligently here in Rialto to provide high quality learning environments to your students. So on behalf of early education, I thank you.
I didn't know I was going to be asked to speak, but we're extremely proud of Dana and of our program and of our wonderful superintendent and lead innovative agent and our school board because I don't know if you've seen some of the articles I've written, but I just keep bragging. And that one just went to all the principals in the state that belong to AXA because you are truly remarkable, the support that we are getting, and we hope to continue to keep getting the support. And it's wonderful to have teachers like this that are making us proud.
Just a quick note, the article that she is talking about in AXA is talking about STEM in preschool. Thank you.
And next, we'll have public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on an item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Are there any?
We have some.
Thank you.
First, we have Juan Loza, Giselle Gomez, and Montserrat Jimenez.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education. Madam President, Ms. Walker, Superintendent Dr. Avila, Cabinet members, and viewing audience. My name is Mozart Jimenez, a proud member of the Student Lighthouse team. This is my partner, Giselle Gomez. How are you doing today?
Great.
All right.
Today we are here to invite you to our 4th Annual Leadership Day and tell you how the 7 habits have helped us. The 7 habits has helped me and other students at Dollahan Elementary communicate with each other, achieve academic goals, and set fun examples on how to exercise. Thanks to Stephen Cuffey's ideas, we now have a great way to learn. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Juan Loza, and I am in 5th grade. I am also from the Leadership Lighthouse team. I'm here to invite you to our Leadership Day at Dollahan Elementary in University Hall on March 8th, 2017. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Such confidence. It's like-
Next, we have David Phillips.
Stand back for this thing. I can already probably talk without it. Thank you, Dr. Avila, School Board, and want to congratulate the preschool teacher who's now going to be teaching at Valley. I can actually remember my mentor teachers at Valley when I was going to do the early childhood program there. Miss Knight, Miss Adams, even Miss Barnett was helped us through college and was actually my wife's kindergarten teacher. So it's nice to see, as we saw at the DSAC Black History event, so much of our local talent being regurgitated back into our community and raising up the next generation. That is beautiful. And I'm also super excited to see these Dollahan kids come out here and invite you guys to our leadership program, because that's probably one of the coolest things I've seen at Dollahan over the last 3 years is the desire to make leaders of our kids. So it's cool to see them so well spoken and ready to come up here and address an elected body. I'm here today on a very positive note, so everybody can sigh, sit down in your seats. I'm not here to bring any of the normal brimstone and thunder. I am here for your pocketbooks, though, so be careful. Dollahan Elementary PTO is excited to invite you to our 2nd annual Family Magic Night. We're having a magic show. We had it last year. It's done with the Stage Magic Fundraising Company. Paul Locke is a teacher out in San Bernardino Unified School District, and he put together a group of magicians that actually performs out at the lost my train of thought. It's one of those nights, isn't it, Martinez? At the Magic Castle in LA. Thank you, Saida, my rock. And so we are so blessed to have these comedians come out and help us raise money for funds. As we all know, as I've harped on before, we don't have the money we want to take our kids on field trips and to do assemblies. So as the first year as PTO president at Dollahan, I'm using my skills to bring in as much money as possible so that we can start to supplement some of the things that we would like to see in the classroom and stop asking for somebody else to do it and find ways to do it ourselves. And with my last 30 seconds, I also want to let you know we do have an upcoming event where our second year is a readathon, where the kids are asking for donations to get read. And what I brought to this concept is we're asking some of our local leaders to come out and either read to kids or have kids read to you. It's only for 1 hour, and that is coming up on March 25th. And what's really cool is Lamario Howard, our APU college-bound football player, has already agreed to come out and read to kids and have kids read to him. So I love that our young people are taking that step and being the leaders and dragging the rest of you guys out to come and read with us. So if you guys want to buy tickets tonight, I actually have them. Miss Sayeda Joffrey was led by example, and she's already purchased some tickets. So if you are willing, let me know, and I will get that to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
we have Cristina Salinas.
Really low. Good evening, President Walker, board members, and Dr. Avila, and community members. My name is Christina Salinas. I'm from Veolia, North America, and I'm joined here with my GM, Clarence Mansell. We operate and manage the water facility here in Rialto. I'm here tonight to invite all of you guys out to our 5th grade water fair on February 24th. That's on a Friday. And I have some invites that I'll share with you. This is our 3rd annual fair. If you want to get out and have some fun with the 5th graders, basically there's about 10 elementary schools that choose their top science experts, and they come out and they enjoy a day. They learn about conservation, how to conserve the water cycle, and they build aquifers. So I hope you guys will join us on that day. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we have.
That's all? Okay. Then next, we'll have public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on an item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any?
We have none.
Oh, my God, yes. Next will be comments from Association Executive Board members, Rialto Education Association, REA. Anybody coming down the hall? No? Okay, so then next we will have California School Employees Association, CSEA. And we do? Excellent.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
President Walker, Superintendent Avila. My name is Raquel Torres, and I'm the president of CSEA Rialto Chapter 203. Today I'm here to congratulate one of our safety and security officers, Officer Lou Webb. Was one of the DSAC Service Award recipients on February 1st, which kicked off Black History Month. Officer Webb was selected by student leaders at Casera Middle School for her loving and caring attitude towards students on campus. I was very appreciative that I could attend to support her. We were very happy that classified employees are being recognized by students for the hard work that they put in. Secretaries, clerks, maintenance workers, bus drivers, our nutrition staff, print shop, warehouse, librarians, and security, we all work very hard to help our students, and it was nice for Officer Webb to be there to help witness her celebration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Communication Workers of America, CWA.
Good evening, President Walker and
Good evening.
Superintendent Avila and the rest of your board members. I've been really amazed at what I've seen so far tonight, and I want to be honest with you. To honor a preschool teacher, I think is really, really great, because I know as a substitute, a lot of time people think preschool teachers aren't making the grade, but that's not true. I know that as substitutes, we follow in footsteps. They love those kids, and it's kind of hard to get those kids to respond to you when they're missing their preschool teacher. So the other thing I want to say is Paul Locke teaches music. He taught my kids music at Palm Elementary. He is a sleight of hand musician. You will enjoy the program, so I do hope you all get tickets and go to it. And the only other thing I can say is after seeing what's going on, I'm going to have to wake up and try to get some substitutes for you guys to honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Okay, no, then we'll move on next to comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President Walker, and welcome to the month of February, which is also Black History Month and American Heart Month. Tonight I would like to start off by congratulating both of our teachers, Mrs. Thornsberry and Mrs. Saunders Hester, for their achievement. This is yet another indication that our staff continues to perform at high levels and takes on challenges for the betterment of education. So congratulations to each of you once again. We'd also like to congratulate Sonny Robinson, quarterback at Carter High School, who signed, as you heard earlier, his letter of intent to the University of Redlands. Alicia Rivera, girls softball player, also at Carter, who signed with Iowa Lakes and will begin her college career this fall. And also Eisenhower football player Lamario Howard Jr., who signed his letter of intent with Azusa Pacific. We know that you will make your families and definitely our school districts proud. Also, as mentioned earlier, on February 1st, to commemorate Black History Month, the DSAC Service Awards luncheons was held at Chavez Huerta Center, and as you have heard from some of our students, it was a great success. President Walker was an engaging keynote speaker. Thank you for all the advice that you provided, not only to the staff who were recipients of the awards, but also to our students. The best part, the speech that resonated for me, was when you, President Walker, reiterated to students and staff that you don't have to listen to history, you can also make your own history starting today. And the kids really took that in on a very personal level. So good advice for our future generation, and congratulations once again to all the recipients from each of the secondary schools who are there being recognized by our student leaders. And our RUSD Alumni Spotlight comes from Eisenhower High School, Mr. Angel or Angel Rodriguez, who is the Director of Marketing, Public Affairs, and Government Relations at the San Bernardino Community College District, who lives currently in the city of Riverside. Mr. Rodriguez attended Fitzgerald Elementary School, Cusera Middle School, and then graduated from Eisenhower in 2004. He also graduated from the University of California, Riverside. Angel was a standout student at Ike as a senior class treasurer, and he also took first place in the statewide Future Business Leaders of America competition and 7th place at the national level. Mr. Rodriguez, your district, RUSD, is very proud of you. That's it.
Oh, thank you. And next, we'll have comments from the board members and our student board member.
Thank you, President Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, board and audience. I first want to congratulate all of the staff members and teachers who were honored at the Black History Month award ceremony. All awards were deserved, especially from Mrs. Lori Dunbar Smalls, and I only say that because I'm the one that chose her for the award. She's not only a fantastic teacher, but she's also a teacher that's made calculus fun for me. And that sounds weird, me saying it out loud now, that calculus is fun, but I honestly think doing the work is fun, and I'd only say that because of how it's taught to me and how I go over work with her, and I really appreciate her for that. But anyways, she's my second mom, like I'm her fourth child, and I really do. I can honestly say I love her. I hope she doesn't watch this because I know for a fact she'll cry. But yes, that's one thing. So ultimately, I want to say congratulations to all of the recipients. With that note, turn it around. We have talk about special teachers. At school, I've been having a lot of I won't say complaints, but I've had a lot of people come up to me and ask, what can we do about a specific situation with a specific class? And with this class, it's only one class with only one teacher, and a lot of the kids don't get along with the specific teacher. And I went through something similar to this my sophomore year in my Spanish class. There was only one Spanish 1 teacher, and I had an A like throughout the whole entire school year, but me and her, we didn't click. I was never disrespectful towards her. She was never disrespectful towards me. We just didn't seem to get along. And I would always wonder why there wasn't another Spanish teacher so I could at least have fun being with the teacher that I was with or enjoy the time with that specific teacher. And a lot of kids at my school have come up to me and I'll say complain because they do complain a lot, but complain about the specific teacher and the way the class is handled. Me personally, I don't have a problem with it, but a lot of people do, and I just wanted to bring the attention that having this one teacher for this one class that all the kids have to take because of a test we had placed us into this class, and we can't move out of this class because of the placement. It's really hard for most kids to put in all their efforts when they don't want to be in the class with a specific person, and I feel like that's a very big problem that we're having at our school. But other than that, the sun was out today. It was a beautiful day. There's no rain, so
Right.
I want to say thank God for that, and thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Can we have remarks from Board Member Ayala?
Well, thank you, President. President Walker. Just a few thoughts tonight on following your heart and making a positive difference in your organization. And the organization can be the organization that you have at home or the organization that you work for. But before we go there, when you think about any organization, there's three forms of government that comes to mind. One's autocratic, the other one's democratic, and the other one's laissez-faire. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. Just very briefly, if you can't make a decision, then maybe you're going to be autocratic. And then like in a prison, maybe you're going to have to get everybody housed within a certain frame of time and a certain space, and you can't have people voting at that time. You just have to move them along. On the other hand, if you got mature adults, a mature organization, and you want to really explore all the possibilities and try to shoot for the stars, you let people be imaginative, you give them flexibility, you give them autonomy, you let them, you're practicing laissez-faire. Now, how does this relate to our organization here? Because there's a dilemma amongst us. And the dilemma is when we have people that have to make decisions, you're either going to be making these decisions wholeheartedly but asking for permission, or you're just going to make these decisions off the cuff and be proactive. People get confused, though, because there's a dilemma there. But it doesn't have to be confusing if you ask yourself some basic questions. Are we functioning or making this decision on something that's routine or something that's very unusual? If it's routine, you're probably going to be okay to take the bull by the horns. If you're thinking of doing something that's unusual, maybe it's a good idea to run it by your mentor or run it by a confidant. See how simple it can be? Okay, we're all human, and I'll summarize by saying that we do make mistakes. And knowing these board members and this board and the staff that I've worked with here, if you own up to your mistakes, they have compassion. But when you try to hide behind them, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. So what I'm trying to tell you is let the truth set you free. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And next we'll have comments from Board Member O'Kelly.
Thank you, President Walker. And you nailed it when you nominated Miss Dunbar Smalls. She is one of the best teachers in the Rialto Unified School District, so very deserving. And I wish I could have been there to see it. She's awesome. And I welcome everybody, and thank you for coming tonight. I had just found out something very exciting. Most of you know that I am a career educator in this very district, now 36 years. And I have a great deal of pride in the students in this district, and I have taught them, and then I was a principal, and I've watched them move on and accomplish great things in every field. But this story is wonderful. My daughter, my own daughter, is a registered dietitian who works for Kaiser. And several months ago, she asked me if I knew Lisa Malone. And my mouth dropped open. I'm like, yes. I said, Lisa Malone is one of the most wonderful, memorable, inspiring students I ever had the honor of teaching. How do you know her? Well, apparently, Lisa was also an employee of Kaiser, and they had met. And she saw my daughter's maiden name, and there aren't too many O'Kellys in these parts, so she thought maybe they're related. But anyway, Lisa is one of those students you will never forget. She was not only hardworking, conscientious, and highly intelligent, she was an absolutely wonderful person, or is an absolutely wonderful person. Lisa was always pleasant and thoughtful and was well liked by her peers and her teachers. There was nobody you could not meet her and not like her. And at the time my daughter met her, Lisa was in the position of medical group administrator for Kaiser, Fontana, which is a very high up position. And she was excited to meet my daughter and talked about me, how she had loved me as a teacher. And I was so touched when my daughter relayed this to me. In her position at Kaiser, Lisa oversaw and provided health services that directly affected this community. She was in a very prestigious position. My daughter called me yesterday, well, actually 2 days ago now, to tell me that Lisa was leaving Kaiser. And I thought, oh, no. But she had been offered and has accepted a position. Now, Lisa is only like in her early 30s. She accepted a position as the senior vice president of St. Joseph's and St. Jude's Hospital Services. And I thought, if anyone deserves it, she does. She always wanted to work with children. I know she will love this job. I know she will just be top notch. And as a graduate of Eisenhower High School, Lisa is a tribute to our district of outstanding performance, professionalism, and caring. And I am so honored that I had the privilege of teaching her. So, good luck, Lisa, and we still have to get together for lunch. Okay, but anyway, thank you all.
Next, we'll have comments from Clerk Montez.
Thank you, Board President, Ms. Dina Walker. Again, I just want to congratulate Mrs. Thornsberry on her recognition. Thank you for everything that you do for our kids, for our school district and this community. Also, Mrs. Sanders Hester, thank you so much for helping us with the very little ones. I want to also just say that I did have the opportunity to attend the DSAC's Black History celebration at the Dolores Huerta Cesar Chavez Center, and it was really nice to see all of the different school district teachers and staff members, support staff that were honored for different reasons. I know there was a handful of math teachers that were honored by the students. Everybody was chosen by the students, by the way, and it was nice to see the principals there supporting them. I do want to just also piggyback on what Dr. Avila was saying. I think Dina's speech was awesome. For those of you who don't know, Dina was a special guest speaker, and she blew the roof off the house there. And we also had some, I believe there was an administrator from Valley College. We also had Hardy Brown Jr. there sharing some information from our local county board of education. Dr. Avila was there. Dr. Avila spoke. It was a really nice event. I thought it was very well planned and organized. So thank you, Saida, and everybody else that took part in organizing it. I know Mr. Ayala showed up with a real treat. Graziano and Graziano Gomez and Trini, his wife. So I just want to again regurgitate the quote that I almost share every single year for Martin Luther King, which I know just recently passed. And if for those of you who don't know it, you're gonna know it because I share it all the time. The purpose of education is to teach one to think critically and intensely. So remember that. One of my favorite Dr. Martin Luther King quotes. So that's all I wanted to share. Keep up the good work, everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Next, we'll have comments from Vice President Martinez.
Has to be the aura over there, because I can remember President Walker from here.
From right over there, like it's a
But over there,
haze.
blank. Okay. Good evening, everyone. What a great evening. I just wanted to share something that I ran across from a young is relative, isn't it? I'm 63, and this gentleman is probably 30-ish. I ran across it in Bass Player, the Holiday 2015 issue. 2016 issue, excuse me. The gentleman is a bass player named Derek Hodge, Hodge. And he was being interviewed, and it impressed me, some of his answers. The quality of this particular individual just stood out to me. As a leader in his community, he happens to be black. It is Black History Month. It's all tying together. But it was asked of him, how important is it for today's bass players to diversify beyond practice gigs, touring, and studio work? I always ask, what do you want to be? A good musician? There are things that you do to work towards that. And this could be anything. He happens to be a musician. And many other things I'll tell you later. Do you want to make it in the music business? That's a different thing. Making it in the music business, being a musician, definitely two different things. But being young, you may think, and I'm talking to young folks, our students, you may think it's the same thing, but it really isn't. Looking back, the old dog says it is a different thing. I can relate. In the music business, being a good musician is a tool to succeed. But it's just a tool, not the tools. You must be willing to diversify and pay attention to what the music market is, or whatever field you are looking at. The more money you have as your cushion, the more aggressive you can be with your career choices. Start by not spending all your money. That is the key to making it from poverty. And I so rarely hear that. I so rarely see that in a publication unless it's a money magazine or something like that. It just mystifies me that we don't see that often enough. I'll repeat just that one. Start by not spending all your money. So if you're in church, you hear it as the 10% tithe, or if you're really into it, the 33% tithe. If you're not a churchgoer, that means get your money back into your community. Okay, so if you're into tithing, that's one thing, but if you're not, get your money back into your community. That's a big deal. Not spending all your money is a big deal, and probably the biggest factor in decisions that probably the biggest factor in decisions that many musicians make. I can't say it enough. Start by not spending all your money. What advice do you have for a bass player with chops, somebody who can play good, and ambition who wants to have a career like yours? Try not to burn bridges. Be you, have drive, but remember that the music business is a people business, and so is everything else, in case you didn't know it. Adapting is key. Be unafraid to try new things. That one risk you take might be the difference in a whole new world for you. Your safety net, don't burn your bridges and don't spend all your money. I'll preach that until the cows come home. And he laughs. What would you say to someone just starting out in 2016? I'm excited for you. Hit me next week and we'll do some listening together. So he's very open. A little more in-depth info on this gentleman. What's your next big adventure? There are a couple of film projects in the works that I'm excited about, and I'm looking forward to touring in 2017. This year was a blast in terms of writing music. A highlight was visiting the new Smithsonian African American History Museum to hear a few pieces of music I wrote for the exhibits. So that's the kind of level this gentleman's at. Again, Derek Hodge, Hodge, is an American bassist, composer, music producer, musical director, and recording artist for Blue Note Records, with whom he has won 2 Grammy Awards. He is a founder of Son of Knowledge Entertainment and resides in Denver, Colorado. 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 And that was off Wikipedia. So, from all that, don't burn your bridges. Don't spend all your money.
Save your money.
Yeah, the message got through. I heard it right over here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
President
you.
Walker.
Next, my comments. Just thank you again to our awardees tonight. The presentation that we had for the DSACs Black History Month around teachers and students actually giving the awards, because the impact that you make in the classrooms for them every day is, often goes unnoticed, but it feels good when you get noticed for those things. However big or small it is, it feels good. And while I was not anywhere near trying to do any kind of science other than what the basic biology, whatever I needed to do to get my degree and leave it alone, I did, because I'm actually by education, I'm an elementary school teacher. So my degree is in elementary ed. I was supposed to go on and teach in K through 8. During that time, I experienced, I wanted to try out my waters, think about, what do I want to teach in elementary school, preschool, whatever. And right before I went on to work with middle schoolers, I worked at a preschool in Ocean Beach, California, in San Diego, preschoolers. And I learned there that you have to be very patient. I learned there that what they don't get at home, they will come to get from school, and that you're very important on how those kids understand and value education. I learned that all the antics that go on in my family are very helpful in the classroom, because then I can tell all the stories with all of the imagination and, animation and everything. And the kids love it. They don't think you're crazy, right? And when I laugh, my stomach shakes. They're just like, it's good, I laugh, my stomach shakes. With my daughters, they're like, Mom, get to the gym. So, it's just all these things. But the one great thing, and why, if you know me, one of my tenets and what I fight for is early childhood education, because I understand how vital it is for the other end of which I fight for, which is college access, right? That if we don't do things on the front end, the back end is hard for us, very hard. And I say that to say, probably the lasting impression that early childhood education, when I was a teacher's assistant then, was I finished my stint, there, and I had gotten a real job. This is after I got my degree, and I got a real job working for the university, and I was going to be teaching middle schoolers on, how to prepare for college. And this is like my dream job. I'm like, yeah, really? 2 days into my new job, look on my arm. There's a bump on my arm. So I'm like, I just got this bump on my arm. It's like weird. And so the clerk who worked at the university, she's like, let me see that, Dina. And I show it to her, and she's like, wow, I've got, Max has a bump just like that. She had a son about 5 years old. I said, what? She said, yeah, no, it's chicken pox. I'm like, yeah, I'm in my late 20s. I'm like, nah. She said, yeah, that looks like chicken pox. Nah. The next morning, I wake up, and I've got chicken pox about all of my everything, and I'm just thinking to myself, what happened? This is day 2. I've only had 2 days on this brand new job, right? And I'm like, oh my God, they have benefits, So I call in, I tell them, I'm like, I think I got chicken pox. I'm going to go to the hospital. And I found out I do. Anyway, I called my old staff to say, because they called me and were like, hey, how's the new job? I'm like, I'm at home. They're like, what happened? What'd you do? Like, really? It hasn't been a week. And I said, I have chicken pox. And they are in the background laughing their hearts. She said, guess what? Almost all the kids have chicken pox. And so was the one who gave it to everybody. And I'm just thinking to myself, so to this day, I actually have a scar on my forehead from one of the chicken pox from there. So I say that was the remembrance of that time, that I will always keep early childhood education on my mind, literally, on my mind. So again, shout out to you and all the great work that our teachers and everybody does for our students and staff. And thank you for the DSAC for that, because that ceremony was great. You guys did a great job. Thank you for your leadership with all the other student leaders, for Saida, if she's here, gone, or whatever. But it was just a great event all the way around, and we appreciate you for appreciating the staff. Thank you. So next, we will actually go into a public hearing. And so,
I make a motion to move into public hearing.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so before I move on there, do I need to vote that we go into, or we do the vote after the hearing?
After reading
Okay. They need to change the format. It's in an odd order. Any person wishing to speak on the items on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Public hearing, 1, pursuant to the requirements of the governmental code and board policy, the attached initial 2017-18 proposal submitted by the Rialto Unified School District for an agreement between Rialto Education REA and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Reference D1 1-2. Do we have anyone?
We have none.
None? Okay. Then may I have a motion to close public hearing?
So move.
Second.
I don't think we ever voted to open it.
No, we did.
See?
We motioned and seconded.
Yeah, but we didn't,
We didn't vote.
as a group.
Right.
See, this is
Aye.
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 aye. It's official.
There's no comment on the open hearing?
No.
There are none.
Okay, so somebody made a motion to close it now?
Yes. Kelly and I made a second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Of closing
No.
public hearing, aye.
Any opposed? And no abstentions, so it's passed unanimously. Okay, so all items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So move.
Second?
And I have some polls.
Okay. All right, and what will those be?
F1,
Okay.
H7, and H9.
Okay. Are there any other polls? No? Okay, then we will vote on the,
I make a
excuse me.
motion to approve consent calendar items F through
E through.
F. I'm sorry. E through J, except for the items pulled F1 and H7 and 9.
Second?
Okay.
Was that F7 and 9? Or
F1,
H7,
and
and
H9.
H9.
H? Okay.
Uh-huh.
To approve all those items except
Gotcha.
for that one.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have a vote, preferential vote by school board member?
Aye.
Okay, excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And then let's go ahead and hear the discussion on F, please.
Okay, I just had a question about this. I don't know who to direct this to, but it's about the LCAP, and I was wondering if we have data available, mid-year data available now that indicates that we are going to meet our LCAP goals that are in place. I'm kind of wondering what we are using as our measures for meeting our LCAP goals.
So that information is right now being collected, and it's based on the metrics that were included in the LCAP that was approved last year.
Okay. Do we do it like mid-year? We don't wait till the end of the
We
year?
can have an update for the board.
Okay, that would be good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then we have number
H7.
H7, also you, Nancy?
Okay, question for this, and this would probably be directed to Mr. Islam. Was this amount originally included in the estimate for the work to be done at Jehu? This is for the additional work to be done at Jehu. And I'm just wondering, or is this another brand new expense?
Mr. Kelly, I'll refer to Mrs. Chu is here, so
Okay.
maybe she can respond to the board.
Good evening, board members, board president, Dr. Avila. My name is Iris Chu, Director of Facility Planning. This item is in addition to the original work that was done a couple of years ago. We built a 2-story classroom building in Jehu Middle School. That's part of the state-funded project. And almost at the end of the project, the inspector told us we have in compliance of some part of the court, the quad, the central court, and the entry to the school. So that was not in the original plan. So this is the actual work.
Well, we keep doing this with all their add-ons, which I really do not like. But in this case, I know that Measure Y money is starting to run out, and we have a lot of work to do at Eisenhower. And I do not want to see Eisenhower yet again go without the upgrades they have been promised and that they so desperately need. Isn't there another source of funding for some of these other projects rather than using Measure Y money? Even though that, I know it was a Measure Y project, but right now, we've got to watch every penny.
At present, Mrs. Kelly, again, as you recognize, this was funded by the state and matching fund from Measure Y to build this project. We do not have any, other than general fund, that's the only options we have to draw for to do this project, so there's no funding is available. Although you see the amount is not such a big amount, it's a small amount, but I hear you. But we are closely monitoring to ensure that the Eisenhower project are not in jeopardy in terms of funding and the board expectations. So we are not going there, just draw the money because of this money is still there, but there's money and pretty much is tied up with the project we're currently under construction. So bottom line, do we have any funding earmarked for any unforeseen project funded by Measure Y or state funded? No, we do not have any funding available.
What's the special reserve funding for?
That's the general fund money we transfer, we call it special reserve, to project. That's not, your general fund generally is called operating fund. Anytime we're doing any special project, based on the need of the districts, we transfer it from general fund to the special reserve fund.
Okay, well, can you give me a guarantee that we will finish the Eisenhower projects as planned?
That is our goal, and that's I can ensure the money is we're closely monitoring, and that is the plan.
Okay, and when is our next meeting?
You mean
Steering committee.
We didn't schedule it. I think next meeting we're planning March.
We have a COC meetings. We just had one last week. The steering committee was formed to provide input in the planning process, in the design planning process.
Measure Y committee is separate.
The COC committee is a separate entity for a different purpose. So at this point, the function of steering committee is over because we have finished the planning and designing of the Eisenhower project. At some point, when we finish the theater project or close to the finish of theater project, I think we will regroup and meet again to discuss the future project like we need to upgrade building R as part of the stadium to provide team room and
Well, I think
weight room.
the members of the committee, myself included, would appreciate the opportunity to get updates and to check the budget again, make sure we're doing okay. We don't want to just,
Yeah, yes.
disappear.
We will be glad to do that, to continue as Mrs. Chu described, the formation of the steering committee to ensure we are following the right process, selecting the contractors and any contract related to the project. So that was the main purpose of the steering committee,
Right.
and we can continue, Mrs. O'Callaghan. There's nothing wrong to continue giving the steering committee an update, because the project is under construction right now. If you drive by, you can see
I
what's
know.
going on. But the fact of the matter, we are continuing meeting with the COC committee. By law, I have to do this. It's not the options. We are updating what's the status of the project and where we are as we're moving forward. But your request to having this, yes, we'll be glad to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and the next item was H9.
Right. This item is about the middle school literacy initiative, which, wow, this sounds super exciting and very promising. And I noticed in the write-up in the agenda that the dates given for all this to start taking place, it says February to May 2017. Does that mean the initial training is going to take place in February with the follow-up in May, or ongoing training, or how is that to be interpreted?
Jasmine will speak to that.
Okay.
Good evening. In answer to your question, yes, the training, if approved tonight, is actually February 28th for all history, social study teachers in the middle school. And then the follow-up will be throughout those months.
And when are the administrators getting trained? Coaches?
They're part of the initial training.
They're all going to be there?
Well, they will be, one administrator at least from each middle school will be there. And then the coaches from the middle schools, the ELA coach will also be present, along with the PDC coaches, so that they can also support.
Okay. Because it's really important that the administrators walk into classrooms and know exactly what they should be
Right.
seeing as a result of this initiative.
Right, and that's why administrators are included in this proposal to the board. And they will also be part of the job embedded coaching piece, that where the coaches will actually be on site in the classrooms with the teachers. And administrators will also be invited to those sessions.
Okay, how many hours of the coaching are included, or is it?
There's 2 full days of the coaching at
Okay.
the school site.
Okay, and is there ongoing support after that? if
That's what we're
teachers
hoping
feel they
for
need it?
next year. Yeah,
Okay.
for the next fiscal year. So this is the initial starting point.
Okay.
Yeah, and our teachers are very excited and grateful about building their classroom libraries
Right.
as well.
Well, I think it's great that we've got getting the early literacy off the ground, and now middle school. I think that's
Because
crucial. So
we know that adolescent learners learn differently.
Right.
With the research, yeah.
they're very unique.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So can I have a motion to approve items F1, H7, and H9?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Okay, excellent. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No, any nays? Okay, passes unanimously. And we'll move on then to our discussion items. Goodness, let me get back to my page. Discussion item K1, to approve the Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2017-2018 school year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? No. Passes unanimously. Number 2, to approve the amended agreement with San Bernardino Community College District Valley College Campus to establish a 3-day 3-day-a-week open college level computer aided design and manufacturing 1 course at the Cesar Chavez Dolores Huerta Center for Education Engineering Academy at no additional cost to the district, effective February 27th through February 2017 through May 2017. The amendment will further add that students will incur enrollment fees in the amount of $21. The term of this agreement, as amended, may be extended for an additional period not to exceed 5 years by written agreement between both parties. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Nope.
Just one
Uh-huh.
point. What if the students don't have the $21 at hand? Maybe we can be a little creative there. How, I'm not sure, so I'm asking this.
Okay. So do you have a representative to speak and ask about what those fees look like, and is there a possibility for students? Or what are the options for payment if a student is unable to pay?
Good evening. The fees that the students have to pay are normally paid by all students who concurrently enroll at Valley College, and that, is something that the parents incur when they choose to do it. So that's just normal procedure. It shouldn't be. And we would have to be concerned with, making a gift of public funds on some of those fees, because those are really specific ones that are required that they pay. But the district is, providing for the books and everything, so they don't have to incur those costs as well as they would in other situations. Welcome.
Excellent. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Number 3, to approve an agreement with the Information Technology Solutions LLC to consult with for structure cabling design and planning for Rialto High, Eisenhower High, Rialto Middle, and Werner Elementary at a total cost of $68,988.21, effective February 9th, 2017 through June 30th, 2017, to be paid from the general fund. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? No. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 4, to approve the 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, and 2019, 2020 school student calendars. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just thank you for giving us multiple years.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 5, to approve the hourly increase for avid tutors to $12.50 an hour effective January 1st, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for the increase.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 6, approve changing the Wednesday, March 8th, 2017 Board of Education meeting to Wednesday, March 15th, 2017. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Can I just ask
Uh-huh.
How, because of vacation?
So, no, it actually is because on March 28th, the superintendent and as well as staff will be going to a conference as a cohort, and so most of the people that will be here, including myself, we're all going to be at a conference, and other staff for that day. So that was the reason. Would you like to add any? Would you like to add any more comment, Dr. Avila?
This is for the California Association of African American Superintendents and Administrators, which we normally send a team to. I
okay.
attended last year along with President Walker. This is where we came across a lot of great ideas, including the Footsteps to Brilliance presentation that we are now implementing in our district. And as I shared last year, this was by far the most impressive conference that I have attended in my 23 years in education. And I want to be able to attend once again to see what good ideas we can take from this conference. It just so happens that it's on the same week as our board meeting of the 8th. And so I propose this change for that reason.
Okay.
Very good reason.
Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 7, approve the recommendations of the Administrative Hearing Panel, AHP, Administrative Hearing Case Number 16-17-22, and stipulated case numbers 16-17-27, 16-17-28, reinstatement hearings, case numbers 12-13-88, 15-16-47. Do I have a motion to approve?
Wait, was the
One of them got pulled.
yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, it was, I believe it was 15-16-47.
Right, right.
Okay.
47?
47?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we?
So
Let me confirm that.
Okay.
Make sure we pull the right one. Can you ask Leonard to come by?
I think my memory is pretty good, but we can double check just to make sure.
Well, I remember the same thing, so.
President Walker?
Yes.
Comment on the date again for this board meeting change.
Uh-huh.
We're looking at March
15th?
15th, and if I look at my calendar, we also have the 22nd, so we're going to have, we're going to change that date as well.
We're not.
There's only one board meeting in March.
In March, okay.
Because of spring break.
Okay.
So
not available.
he's not available? So
Does anybody else recall
I wasn't there, so.
16-47?
I'm pretty sure, but my note went with Leonard.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Okay, so in this situation, because we don't know which one, we can't approve everything. We don't know which one was.
Well, I think we should just approve the item with the exception of 15-16-47, and if we're mistaken,
Bring it
we
back.
can bring it back.
Right.
Excellent. Sounds good to me. Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the items from the administrative hearings minus the administrative hearings, the stipulated hearings, and the reinstatement hearings minus 15-16-47?
So move.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And then do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Preferential vote?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The time is now 8:58. Thank you.
Dang, it's been a while since I've been able to stay for the whole time.
Yeah, look like.